And I will wait a moment for you all to show up because I just hit the go live button. May 2nd. It's a high energy time. It most certainly is. And I crack a fake beer. Alrighty. As soon as we have some peeps, we will get started. We'll start off kind of slowly with the news and then wait for people to show up. I hope you had a lovely day. Hello, hello, hello. Did you have a lovely day? I had a lovely day. So let's think about things that are good. Let's take a few moments and think about things that are good. Our favorite things. I just cracked open my favorite fake beer. And it's nice and cold and delicious. And it's a beautiful day. We're thinking of beautiful things. Okay. Everybody, write a beautiful thing in the chat. Let's raise the vibe right away. Let's just start with that. Kind of creates a buffer. All right, and thank you to all of you who have been watching my videos, first off, and hitting the thumbs up and subscribing. Thank you. And beautiful day in Rochester, New York. Yep. Turn over the soil in the garden, cut back brambles, planted some things. Good, good, good. Thank you for joining me at the rally yesterday. It was a damn lot of work to get myself there. It was a lot of traffic to get myself there. Well, it was kind of rush hour. But I'm so glad that I went. There's an energy out there. And this, I'm grateful for this. There's an energy out there on the streets of America that is really inspiring. Yeah. Hey Terry, Terry's in the house. Yay. Terry helps me when I forget what question I was asking. You're not obligated, but it does help. It does help. I actually, and I mentioned this in an earlier video, I had said, I did come home and I did a 9:30 p.m. guided meditation for a healed America. Yep. And I said, oh, I took a video of the rally. It's about an hour and a half. You don't have to watch the whole thing. But I surprised myself because last night I watched the video of the entire rally and I wasn't bored for 1 second. Because the energy was great. And I'm telling you this to inspire you to, if you are able to get out there. I saw people that clearly were having a hard time, you know, like they had physical impediments and that kind of thing. But they were out there, you know, so that inspired me. The whole time there were bands playing, and we were walking around the common. The police presence was great. It was really good. There was a helicopter overhead from the news. And I saw a hawk go overhead in the city while we were out there. It's not a bad thing to go to a rally. It's a good thing to go to a rally. That is what our representatives are asking of us. That is what Kamala Harris is asking of us. And if you don't feel comfortable going to a rally, that's okay. But let's make sure we're doing one thing a day at least to save our democracy. And yes, people are saying their rallies are tomorrow or the next day, and I really feel that we're going to be rallying all the time until we turn this crap around. Until we do. And I have to say, and I made a comment, I was listening to Michael Popak, talking about what Ketanji Brown Jackson, our Supreme Court Justice, has to say about what's going on, and he was talking about that Ketanji Brown Jackson will probably take over John Roberts' seat someday, and he said something about when, not if, when we get our democracy back. Yeah, a couple thousand at the rally in San Diego. Good. We need to be speaking in terms of like when we get a stronghold again. Hakeem Jeffries, did he say something today that I missed? It's hard to keep up with everything. Ruby donates money to representatives. Excellent. So, Dumpy is not doing well at all, despite everything that you might hear on the fake news. If you catch clips of the fake news, his poll numbers are way down. He gave a disgusting commencement speech at the University of Alabama. Thank God for Midas Touch, because they cover everything. And as much as I've complained that they didn't question the results openly, publicly of the election, maybe they'll get there. I'm just going to acknowledge with all of us here right now. We've been saying the emperor has no clothes, the emperor has no clothes, the emperor has no clothes for years now. And I'm going to start with this. I'm going to read on how long it goes before something is done about the fact that a certifiably insane person is occupying what once was the most powerful seat in the land, and what once was, just a mere few months ago, the strongest economy in the world. How long is it going to take before somebody does real action, real impeach and remove, and all his little dogs too? I'm also going to read and remind me. Terry's in the house, so she'll remind me. I'm also going to read on SCOTUS. So what's it going to be? I mean, it really, and then he says things like, oh, the world thinks that we're all the laughing stock of the world, and it's just, this has gone on for like Twilight Zone level way too long. What did Darren say? So, let's read on that as I'm looking at the death card right here. I'm going to pull cards asking how long does our country and our representatives allow a certifiably insane sociopath, psychopath, malignant narcissist, dangerous man who makes 0 sense and issues threats continuously. How long is it going to be before something happens that removes him from office? We're not saying if he's removed, we are saying when. And I said to you all last night, if you were with me, that after I heard that the MAGA people, I'm just going to call them the MAGA people in our Congress, when asked by Dan Goldman if they could raise their hand if they agreed it's not okay to deport a child out of this country who has cancer. This is the third time I've mentioned this. It's boggled my brain. No Republican raised their hand to indicate that they think it's not okay to deport a child like a 4-year-old child with cancer, out of the country. In other words, their silence means they want that and they're complicit. And I'm glad you saw that clip because it needs to go viral. Anyone else feel like they aren't living their life, just existing? Suzanne, you're in Canada, right? Just addressing what you're asking. I reflect on it a lot. I reflect on how many hours of my day are devoted to this. Are you in Canada, Suzanne? You are, right? But after I heard what Dan Goldman reported, that the Republicans, formerly known as Republicans, could not raise their hand and say they're not okay with this happening, I doubled down. You're in Virginia Beach. Oh, okay. Suzanne. I doubled down. And then I heard Kathy's astrology report today on Off the Ledge. I played the astrology report, which said that, I'll probably get this wrong. Venus, I'm looking at the calendar. Well, Venus moved into Aries. And there's some real warrior energy. And if Kathy shows up tonight, we'll ask her to put the aspects there. After that display of absolute sociopathic behavior by the MAGA Republicans, I'm all in. This is it. I am not going to let up with what I'm doing. So 3 cards on, is somebody actually going to do something? Eventually, I mean, people don't live forever. Let me just say that. Everything changes eventually. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. I didn't barely ask. Thank you for telling people to hit the thumbs up. It's a real Twilight Zone-ish kind of thing when you look at, wow. It's freaky. It's just freaky. My next article on Substack is going to be about the cult mind. Yeah, channel your inner Joan of Arc. That's what Kathy was saying, the astrological aspects right now, and they're really perfect for Kamala's reemergence. Here they are hiding. So the question is about, he's clearly incompetent. More than I have ever borne witness to in anybody in my life. Yeah, that was what Kathy, during the show that Kathy and I did on Wednesday, I think it was, she did say that all the aspects and all the people in this corrupt administration, illegitimate administration, it looks like they're all going down at once. So let's see if the cards line up with that. Has anybody else ever known somebody as incompetent in their entire lives? Did you see any of him at that University of Alabama commencement speech? We've never, he's dangerously incompetent. At the risk of sounding like using one of his phrases, we've never seen anything like it, even in our personal lives. It's astounding. 8 of Pentacles says somebody's working diligently at how to take him down, how to take him off his golden throne. And this is these cards are weird. Okay, all right. Yeah, the Knight of Pentacles, this keeps coming up. The Knight of Pentacles, we're going to get a message in the not too distant future, I say in a week or less, about actions being taken to remove him. Stephen Miller tried to say Pritzker was inciting an insurrection. We might have to read on Stephen Miller tonight, as much as it gives me the ick. The ickies. I have my sage spray. I've gotten this a couple times today. The Nine of Wands, look, those are the scaredy cat MAGA Republicans, formerly known as Republicans. But yeah, there are people that are hard at work making sure that we make this country safe. Stephen Miller is suing John Roberts. I know, I'm going to read on that too. I'm actually going to read on John Roberts. But as far as what I just read on, it does look like within 1 week, we're going to hear news of some serious moves being made to get him removed. Yeah, Stephen Miller was Goebbels in his past life. I read on it. Them are my psychic facts. I do think about Stephen Miller being a father and a husband, and it gives me the willies. Yeah, it's because of Roberts that we're the way we are. So, I think this requires the nefarious cards. Keeping my fingers crossed that I don't lose my Wi-Fi tonight. If I do, I will come back. Well, let me tell you. I'm going to read on John Roberts first. Sage is saying, is Millie's wife around or is she in a freezer somewhere? That's funny. That's a good one. Ba-dum-bum. First this. I'm going to ask if this is what Roberts, did he even think about what he was setting up? Letting Dumpy be a dictator. People, it's not going to work. I just want you to know, it's not going to work. We have a 249-year dug-in democracy. Just because we haven't practiced as much or worked it out enough for it to be really strong. We have a 249-year strong democracy. Hello? Don't let them make you a scaredy cat. They're scared of us. Don't let them fool you. I agree that Roberts thought it would only hurt the little people and not him. But now what the Supreme Court is seeing is that they could lose everything. When I saw Ketanji Brown Jackson, she's a solid grounded justice. So, you know, we're going to accentuate the positive tonight. So think about those good things. Think about Harvard fighting back. I guess I heard at the rally last night, kind of from the distance, because I had to go to the to sit under a tree and talk to you guys. But I overheard somebody saying something about MIT not taking a stand. So we'll see. But I'm reading on SCOTUS right now. And by the way, when I think about MIT, I think that will change. So the question is about John Roberts. Yes, Ketanji Brown Jackson is extremely brilliant. And also, I just want everyone to consider that we have extremely brilliant people in this country. Let's not forget. Will Congress try to impeach John Roberts? All right, well, let me read first on John Roberts' energy. And then I'll ask that. I don't see that. We're not hearing from, well, aside from the Democrats in Congress, we're not hearing from the brilliant, talented, gifted people in this country because they're being suppressed. Why are you talking about seizures? Yeah, we have totally brilliant people. It was very, very talented people in this country. Okay, Roberts. I'm reading on Roberts. Where's he at? Now, when I'm thinking about Roberts and I'm picking cards about Justice Roberts, what I'm getting is him and Alito are like buds, and it's kind of crazy and it's kind of immature, but it feels like they had some kind of a pact to screw over the American people. So let's see how that's going. Because I'm seeing them like two peas in a pod. Roberts is feeling in a corner. Yep. He's feeling like he's been painted into a corner, but he painted it himself. Please hit the thumbs up so we can get to a group hug tonight. We didn't get enough people in the room on Wednesday. Six of Cups. Now this is strange. I'm just going to tell you what I'm getting about Roberts. He's feeling painted into a corner. And I don't know why this would be. Sometimes I have to figure out what the guides are saying. Like, well, what are you talking about? because what's coming up is something about January 6th. So now I have to go back in my head because I'm reading on Roberts and I'm getting that he feels painted into a corner. Oh, I'm making the connection. You want to stick him in the corner and leave him there? This is interesting. This is really interesting. Why would they want to screw us? Because they're sociopaths. Rita, you know, some people are just mentally off. I know, I don't mean to minimalize it. It's terrible. Amendment 14, Section 3. I'm picking up that Roberts he's got that on his mind, that they went ahead and they told Dumpy he could do anything he wanted, right? That was before the election. Maybe they didn't think he would win. Thank you, Suzanne. Appreciate it. You get a bell. He made a deal with the devil. Roberts made a deal with the devil. So this is indicating that Roberts is having second thoughts right now about not adhering to the Constitution, to Amendment 14, Section 3. I think the Supreme Court is starting to wake up to reality too. And I'm going to refrain from bashing John Roberts. And here's why. And I think it will be helpful to us to do this. Instead of bashing John Roberts, Justice Roberts in your mind, it would be more productive energetically if we're sending him vibes to do the right thing. He knows he made a deal with the devil, but he's a Supreme Court justice. He's the head dude. And remember, 9-0, bring Garcia back. Right? So now, what's going to happen? Okay, I'm going to say what I said. I'm going to say it again. And I'm going to say it in this way. And Kathy and I were talking about this, and you heard us talking about this, because this is important, during the show that we did on Wednesday. There were several times, astrologically, that Dumpy getting dumped could have happened. And I get guidance that says if enough of us are on board with thinking about what we want to happen rather than looking at what we hate and just thinking about it over and over, when more of us, and doesn't have to be a majority, when more of us are on board with, okay, we're not going to be hating on John Roberts, we're going to be sending him vibes that he changes his mind and has a really important come to Jesus moment, so to speak. So I don't want to see anybody up there in the chat going, he'll never do anything, he's such... I'm just saying. I love you guys. I'm reading more on that. Intentions matter. Yes. Yes. And tonight in the chat, we're putting all positive things, right? Right? Am I right? Four of Swords. John Roberts is very stressed over this. He's very stressed over this. So the fact now that I first had the Six of Cups, which was pointing to January 6th, and I have the Six of Wands. I'm wondering if they're going to turn around this edict that they declared on July 1st, 2024, that Dumpy could do whatever he wanted. Yeah, it was before the election. Getting my timelines mixed up. Because I was marching in the 4th of July parades during that time on the 4th of July week when they just said, oh, now we have a king. If he wins, he's going to be king. I'm getting indications that they may retract their he has full immunity. Oh yeah, he is saying to himself, what have I done? I totally get that. I totally get that. Yeah, Ketanji Brown Jackson and a few other justices can show him how it's done. The Ace of Swords is the truth coming out. The Ace of Swords is truth. So if we want to accelerate that and make it more likely, think about it happening. And speaking of that, if you want the declarations that a bunch of us are saying every day at noon to create the America we want at this time, send an email to AnnetteDion7@gmail.com and I'll simply copy it and paste it for you. 12 noon Eastern time daily. We're reading it. It takes about 5 minutes. Speaking of intending. Okay, now we're going to read on Stephen Miller. I know, I'm accepting donations. Maybe, yeah, it's not going to help. If we want things to go in a positive direction, either don't think about him at all or think about him coming to his senses and turning this ship around. This ship that's sinking around. Stephen Miller, did you hear me say I'm taking donations? Thank you to all of you who donate. And thank you for being here. What do I want to ask about him? When I tune into Stephen Miller and it's not pleasant, he's all over the place. Am I buffering? Oh well. Well, I will go with it for now. His mind, Stephen Miller's mind is all over the place. I don't know if he's doing speed or what. I think he's doing speed. Yeah, let me know if the Wi-Fi goes out. It's annoying. I need to do something about that. I fight with Comcast and then it's too boring to get into. Stephen Miller is in... What do you mean is Stephen in some sort of trouble? I'm just reading on him. He's evil. I'm asking if he does stimulants because I'm tuning into his energy and I get that he's all over the place. I would say the White House has reopened their pharmacy based on what I'm getting here. You planted several plants, Sage the Scales Tarot? Yeah. Last night, I spoke about sending light through all parts of the Capitol. Yeah, that was in the meditation. It was very powerful. Maybe we can do it more often. We do it every week. Is Stephen Miller doing cocaine? Not cocaine. Is he doing some kind of stimulant? Yeah, he's doing some kind of stimulant. Now, this is like not out of the realm of possibility. We found out in Dumpy 1, Phase 1, that they had a pill mill at the White House. He's on drugs. Yes, he's on drugs. The Nazis also were on drugs. You thought Stephen Miller could only come out at night because he would go poof when the sun came out? Yeah. He's nuts. You're right, Rita. He's nuts. Okay, we're pulling 3 cards on him. Will Miller be the next national security advisor? I thought they had Rubio slated for that. It's hard to keep up with what, you know, remember Dumpy 1? Dumpy Phase 1? He kept firing people and it's chaos. He gets an IV drip of O positive. Stephen Miller. Oh my God. We have to keep our eyes on the ball. Is Miller taking the same things as Musk? We might have to read on him tonight too. I get yes, I get is ketamine an upper? They want Miller for the job permanently. Which job? It's so interesting to listen to Stephen Miller because he's just like, I think that he went from his Nazi lifetime into another heinous kind of a lifetime, and then he incarnated into who he is now, because he behaves as if he's in 1930s Germany, in Nazi Germany. He behaves that way. I don't see him as national security advisor. I don't. Yes, we're in the twilight zone. No, I don't see him as national security advisor. Stephen Miller, his whole dream, his fantasy is to steal America from the American people. The 9 of Cups. This is interesting because I saw Denise Knight's video today, and the 9 of Cups was coming up, and she was referring to Dumpy. She has, I'm trying to remember the name of her channel, Denise Knight. She was saying that she thinks that Dumpy drinks. Fire Stephen Miller. Yeah, think about that. You're leaving. Thomas is going to Italy. You better tune in from Italy. I'm jealous. Good for you. I'm reading on Stephen Miller. Yes, I'm still reading on Stephen Miller. It's taken me forever. But what he's attempting to do is steal America from America. And it gives Stephen Miller great pleasure to think about just like destroying everything that America's ever been proud of. You must be just showing up, Celtic Seer, because I just talked about Roberts revoking special immunity. It does look like he will. It will be done the first week of June. You think Stephen had a lot to do with those documents? Which ones? Which ones? That's his goal. That's his dream, is to steal America from the American people. Stephen the Devil, the Nazi Miller. And the Queen of Wands, I keep on getting the Queen of Wands too. So there's a very powerful female waiting in the wings that's going to put the hammer down on this administration. Who might that be? Zinnis comes to mind, the judge in Maryland, right? And do what with America? What do you mean? Turn it into a fascist country. I mean, it's obvious to me what he wants. Do you want me to give you more details? Letitia James is still out there. Yeah, I'm picking up on a powerful female. I mean, try to keep up. I know it's not easy. I definitely admit it's not easy. Can't believe Thomas is going to Italy. What do you call a duck that steals? A rubber duck. Good one. Oh my gosh. Thanks for popping in and giving us a joke. What time are you leaving? He'll tune in from Italy. I want to see a picture of St. Peter's Basilica. Okay. Hang on. I didn't really formulate a clear question. Where is Roger Stone these days? I don't care. We need 30 more thumbs up to do a group hug. Tomorrow afternoon. Good. Well, you have time to hang out. You can pack and listen, right? No, I know how it is. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to go overseas on a trip. It really is. Okay. Am I picking up on Letitia James? Because I keep seeing a strong female coming in. That's one female judge. It's time for the women to rise up and to take charge. Okay, I'll check in on Elon. Elon apparently stepped down from the fictional Doge. Let's read on him. He stole all our secrets. We're all under surveillance. I have so much faith in the higher power. I really have an incredible amount of faith in the higher power. That we all are, that created us. Let's get me to 11,000 subscribers. I'm getting close. As far as actual views, never builds. Let's tell... Italy knows that Kamala won. Guess what? The other countries know that Kamala won. We're the only ones that are being put in the dark. Yeah, Elon amassed all of our personal data. So I'm going to actually just pull 3 cards on his whereabouts. So he stepped down, he stole everything, and then he jumped ship. So I'm going to read on his fate. And these cards are flipping over. Let me see. Let me do this again. Elon. What's going on with him these days? Thank you, Terry. I have Joan of Arc. Powerful women. What's going on with Elon these days? Well, he's trying to salvage what he has left. And this is being between a rock and a hard place. Sorry it's so gruesome. Between a rock and a hard place. He's done lost his head, Elon has. I want to go to Rome, too. Thomas, are you going to Rome? You must be. Why would you go to Italy and not go to Rome? Oh, and by the way, Thomas, I showed a picture before of a ley line that goes down through Italy. I showed it. I'm not going to show it to you right now, unless you beg me. It'd be easy to find in my phone. But there's a huge ley line that goes down the length of Italy. That's where a ley line is an energy meridian. It's very powerful. And all the big cathedrals were placed along that ley line. So you're gonna have a good trip. Diane just got back from the UK, Isle of Man, and Ireland. Wow, nice. Yeah, so Thomas, if you send me an email, I can send it to you. I'm losing people fast? What do you mean? I'm still here, right? Thomas, think positive. Elon, the 5 of Cups, he's losing things. He's losing things. He's getting broke after getting booted. Was he booted from Tesla? See, it's hard to keep up. We need 23 more likes. Thumbs up. I see justice coming for Elon. I see him. I'm seeing the words diminishing returns for him. A mind is a terrible thing to lose. Yeah. Sharon, why'd you say I'm losing people? What are you talking about? Damon's not in the house, but Thomas, when you're in Italy, make some manicotti. Have some manicotti and tell us about it when you get back. Oh, your counter for the likes is 0. No, you got to refresh. We need 7 more thumbs up. Tesla's currently looking for a new owner. So did he get let go completely? Oh my. So what I'm going to look at now, that was kind of his status at the moment. And I'm going to look at now how he's doing. Not that I care, but I'm curious. How he's doing emotionally. May 7th, they choose the Pope. They don't usually choose the Pope in one day. So Elon hasn't been dropped yet from Tesla. I'm looking at how he's doing emotionally. Elon is not in good shape. Elon has major mental issues. Pretty major. And he knows that justice, international justice, is after him. And welcome the new person to the chat. Thank you for making them feel welcome, Cheryl. Yeah, the 3 of Swords for Elon, major depression. Really big depression. Hiding it as best he can, but the 8 of Pentacles indicates there's some real strong cases being made with the receipts, with the evidence on the in the international courts. Let's ask this. And I've gotten this before. Hello, Barbara. Will Elon Musk be arrested? I have a yes. He'll be arrested. He's a very evil person. Isn't it interesting how we didn't know people could be so evil? I don't know. I just... I guess I kind of knew, but I guess I didn't expect to in my lifetime see so many all at once in positions of power. 1 more thumbs up and we have a group hug happening. We can do it. I'm talking about international crimes. Does he think he's the reincarnation of Alexander the Great? Did he say that? How did I miss that? Do I think a new pope will be chosen by next weekend? We can look at that. I'm curious about that too. I don't think it will take as long to pick a pope. Maybe Thomas will be in Italy. Is that where you're going? All right, you got to go to the Vatican. Are you there? Going there, Tom? You might have left. Let's read on the Pope. I haven't gone down the list to see. I could go down the list of candidates to be the next Pope. Can you believe a week ago was the funeral? Zip, 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 zip. Time's just zipping by. Okay, let's ask this. From the energy, we have enough thumbs up to do a group hug. We'll do that in a moment. Thank you for helping. Let's just ask, based on the present energy, is the energy going towards having a pope chosen in under a week? Not in under a week. I don't know if the my memory is. Thomas is running for the next pope of Greenwich Village. That's right. My recollection of a pope being chosen is that the people are there and they see the smoke coming out of the chimney and so I don't see how it could be closed. I don't know. I'll look into it. I remember that. They're all standing outside looking for the color of the smoke, and when it's white, they've picked a pope, and then the pope comes right out. Yeah, so they have to, people, I don't see how the Vatican can be closed for that. Anyway, okay, so it doesn't look like they'll have a new pope in under a week. Will there be a new pope by the second week in May? Yes. We're in the first week in May. I think by the full moon. Yeah, I think by the full moon. And you can pray that the new pope is as liberal as possible. I think with the Catholic Church being, and we'll read on that, we'll read on the Catholic Church being, I mean, I know, and you know, the Catholic churches have very low attendance in most places in the United States. So, and most of the active Catholics are from Latin America, and like they're not minority groups anymore, right, Maria? So they have to appeal, and my reception is very spotty. And Pope Francis was very, very, very popular, and he advocated for taking care of the poor and the migrants, especially the climate migrants, which you and I could be that someday. So 3 cards about the choosing of the Pope, and then we'll do a group hug. You guys are so awesome helping me out. Pat yourself on the back. You're very helpful. Okay, I'm still good with the Wi-Fi for most people. The younger people are returning to the church, so the next Pope is crucial. So he's going to have to be open-minded, right? And all, I mean, it's not going to work for the Vatican if they choose somebody closed-minded. We could all be those kinds of migrants. Absolutely. I mean, look at me. I'm right on the ocean. It's like one big... I don't even think about it. Okay, so I have the Star, the Ten of Wands, the King of Pentacles. I think we're gonna like the new Pope. I do. I think we're gonna like the new Pope. These are really positive cards. And everyone's recommending that you watch Conclave. King of Pentacles. Maria, you're gonna like who they pick. And if you're a recovering Catholic, I highly recommend that you become a member and watch my entire series, 40 Days to Releasing Religious Guilt. It will change your life. It's free for members. It's on other videos. Yeah, I have the Star, the Ten of Wands. It looks like they're going to pick a good Pope. I would stop worrying about that if you're worried about it. They said the Pope had an idea who was just like him. Had an idea of who to pick that was like him? I don't understand what you're saying. Group hug. Okay, this is what we need for our group hug. According to my perception, and you can do the group hug about anything that you want or add to it. Let's do a group hug as we think about the American people wanting to go to rallies like they want to go see their favorite rock star. And that it just becomes a thing to be doing. And it's very effective. Okay? Let's also hold in our minds all the people that are afraid of being deported, and that this whole disastrous thing that's going on in America turns around. Okay, and thanks for posting my P.O. box. Appreciate it. And all the people that are really scared and suffering, especially our elders and our veterans and people that are really feeling abandoned. Okay? Okay. 1, 2, 3. Positive statements, please. To really hold those people. Like Kamala Harris was talking about what the elephants did in San Francisco during the earthquake. They circled around the vulnerable elephants. Let's feel that. Let's feel us coming together and doing that. All those that are hurting are uplifted. We're lifting the vibe. All right, great. Excellent. Okay, can we please stop saying terrible things about the Catholic Church? Thank you. It's committed a lot of terrible sins, right? Many societies and religions have. That's why we have to focus on the positive. Thomas is here for the hug. Good. Beautiful group hug. Yeah, I felt the hug too. I always feel the hugs. Warren's not in the house tonight, but Warren was the one. We got to give Warren credit because he's the one that insisted that we do that. How can we encourage younger folks to march? There were a lot of young people there yesterday. Go back and watch the video that I posted about with the Boston Rally. And by the way, yeah, we're going to call some good news in. I agree. By the way, I just want to tell you something about my videos with I'm going to tell you what's going on with the backwards letters, all right? Because I know it's totally annoying. I'm going to just tell you quickly. I contacted YouTube about it. YouTube said, click on this link to confirm your account. And when I went, the link wasn't there, right? And so I don't feel comfortable logging out of my YouTube account because frankly I just don't trust YouTube to let me back in. But Philly had 5,000 people in the streets, great. But when I record on my camera and upload the video, the letters are going the right way. So I'm just really leery of logging out of my YouTube account because I'm so not trusting YouTube. So I'm just going with having the letters backwards until they give me some confirmation they're not going to pull anything. I'm not going to read on Trump getting his military parade on his birthday. Yeah, Maria's saying trust my instinct about YouTube because I've had this channel for 6 years and my number of views has not gone up. It's gone down only. And it's just not, it doesn't make sense. The math doesn't math on that. Okay. And it's not like you guys hate being here. I give the equal amount of likes, thank you, as participants. I'm going to pull 3 cards about the past administration, talents from the past administration. Joe Biden. Is it cracking you up how much Dumpy is obsessed with Biden? So we're going to actually, yeah, YouTube doesn't like warriors. That's true. And I want to point out, too, that Mary Trump is reporting the same thing. That YouTube is messing with her channel. And she has a much huger following than I do. So that's why the letters are backwards, and that's why I haven't fixed them. Because I have to finish my story about that. I was trying not to. Because I told YouTube when I was in contact with them, maybe they're listening. I'm just asking a simple question. And the simple question I'm asking is, can you just tell me in general what might cause my letters to be backwards on my live streams? And they said, we can't tell you. We're not going to tell you. Three cards about the past administration. And I'm asking because I want to know when that energy is coming back. It does feel like it's starting. Thank you, Cheryl. It does feel like the energy from the past administration is trying to come back. Wow, right, Maria? They won't just, they refuse to answer my simple question. Yep. Maybe if you guys can find out, like YouTube won't answer my simple question. Can you tell me what might cause my letters to be backwards? They said, "Oh no, you have to log out." Okay, thank you, Terry. Yes, really, yes. They want an oligarchy. What can I say? That's going to change. Google is going to get broken up. Backwards letters are not a problem for me. It was a problem for me in the march at the rally because everybody's sign was backwards. Yeah, there has to be a way to know. If you find out, let me know. The last administration is definitely thinking about the emperor who has no clothes and who he's associated with. Putin's puppet, right? Thank you, Claudia. You get a bell. And the Prince of Swords and the Nine of Swords. Okay, so the past administration, yes, they're worried. But the Prince of... I always get energy around the people will make the difference. Yeah. Hold up my live streams to a mirror, yeah. What's on C-SPAN? Yeah, YouTube flips your live streams. If they don't like you, apparently. So, I'm reading on the last administration. They definitely have... I really feel like the last administration knows about what's going on with the emperor who has no clothes, the orange buffoon, and Putin. And they see the pain that America's going through. But there's a lot that's happening on the grassroots level that, I don't know, I just feel like the last administration trusts the American people to turn this around. Yeah, and you know, like Darren's talking about protesting in the 70s, 60s. And about that generation stopped a war with their protests. And my guides tell me repeatedly, even my dad who's on the other side now, I ask him, I consult with him, what do you know, Dad? It's the people rising up. It's probably motivating me even more. That I have that message very strongly. It's the people rallying in the streets, rising up, that's going to turn this around. This is our country. No, it's not the settings on my iPad. It is not the settings on my iPad. It is not. I already know about that. When I record my videos and upload them, that's on my iPad and the letters are going the right way. But thank you for trying to help. I've been pulling my hair out about this. I can't reverse the letters. I just went over that. I love you guys. You like my family. It's the power to the people. So actually, I'm going to pull 3 cards on the rallies before we go. I'm not doing tea leaves tonight. We'll save that for next week. Cynthia, are you just showing up now? We're just about to finish. I'm going to pull 3 cards about the... Yeah, I've tried everything. About the letters, I've tried everything. Okay. I just had to vent about that. I'll keep working on it. Please ask in your prayers that RFK Sr. haunts his son, RFK. Yeah, definitely. And that Ivana is haunting the Donald, among other people. 3 cards about the protests and what we will see. What kind of energy the protests are creating. Keep pulling 4 cards when I mean to pull 3. The guides are chatty tonight. I hope you're planning to have a good weekend where you do things to save our democracy and you have some fun. I'm wishing that for all of you. Yeah, I'm asking about the effects of these protests, and I'm seeing the 8 of Wands is it's making things, it's moving the needle, people. It is. Get out there. Let me inspire you. The rallies are moving the needle quickly. Quickly. And the Two of Wands. It's going to be undeniable that the people have the power. And Pluto is in Aquarius, and that means the people have the power. We're in the energy of the French Revolution and the American Revolution, but this is not going to be a bloody revolution. Yeah, they're wild cards, aren't they? They're like holographic. Okay, shall I pull 3 community cards, or was that good? Does anybody want me to pull 3 cards for the community? Let me know. You good? You want me to? All right. I'll use this deck. I'll use the holographic deck. Okay, so we're gonna, yeah, let them eat cake, right? Okay, we'll pull 3 cards for the community, for all of you. The wonderful things that are going to happen for us this weekend. Asking the guides. We'll do tea leaves on Monday. Please book a session, and I'm offering $100 off spiritual life coaching. Of course, I know, I knew you'd say yes. We're going to see judgment for all the pain they've put us through. Judgment is coming. I think the tariffs will be short-lived. I really do. All this pain they're putting us through, their judgment is coming. The Nine of Pentacles is we're back to our prosperity. So don't you all be thinking about how bad it's going to be and how we have to like eat beans and rice. Don't you all be thinking that way, because you could create that. Be thinking that, you know, it's 2025. We have the entire framework for this country to be doing awesome. Yeah, beans and rice are okay, but I mean, there are people out there going, you're gonna run out of food, and you're not. Unless you keep thinking about it that way. The stock market's up today. That's interesting. So, all right. So lots of love and lots of good, positive thoughts. Think positive all the time. Even after you have a negative moment, just redirect it. Darren, I want cheap eggs. I don't mind if I pay $6 for eggs. It doesn't really bother me that much. And if it does, I just won't buy eggs. Okay. What else? I'll come back with Off the Ledge and a pop-up tomorrow. Every day I'm doing that now. And book a session. Church of Spirituality is every Sunday at 1. You can always watch the old ones. And do the meditations from Thursday nights. Okay? They're really great. You can skip over the first 15 minutes and just do the meditation for every Thursday night lives. Okay, love you lots. Thanks for showing up and hitting the thumbs up and the group hug and all the donations and all your goodness. And join. I have a new course coming up that will be available for members only to watch. So we'll talk about that next week. Namaste. You guys are awesome. See ya.